Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to SCORE's Business Planning Workshop. This is the first module of 6, so we're very excited to have you join us. I hope everyone is ready to go. We have some exciting information to share with you tonight. My name is Frank Sherman. I'm a SCORE mentor for the last 7 years. I retired about after 35 years in the chemical industry. I now run a nonprofit and volunteer for various things, including SCORE. My sidekick, Dennis Morano. Dennis, you want to introduce yourself?
Good evening, everyone. Dennis Moraro here. I spent 40 plus years in the commercial printing industry, so I'm retired now, and I spend my volunteer time with SCORE.
Very good. Thanks, Dennis. So Dennis is going to be running some of the mechanics, but also fielding some of your questions. Speaking of which, a little bit of administration. You are in listen-only mode, and you will be, when you go to the breakout rooms, you will be unmuted automatically. There'll be certain polling questions I will pop up, and if you can answer those quickly, these are not tough questions, so don't hesitate. You're not going to be graded. It's just to get a sense of who's out there and where everybody's at. So please answer the polling questions quickly. The slides and the recording will be posted on our website. So I'm a furious note taker, and if you're a few of you out there, don't get frustrated if we end up moving a little too fast. There will be postings. Finally, the chat icon at the bottom of your screen is a way to feed in questions. Don't hold your questions. Start feeding them right away on each slide. Dennis will try to field those questions as they come. But if we don't get to your questions, you could always follow up with your mentor. So those are the admin items. A quick commercial on SCORE. We're a national nonprofit dedicated to small business owners. Established in the mid-'60s, we are the kind of a resource arm for the SBA. 10,000 volunteers across the country, focused on education and mentoring. So this is, you get more than you pay for. We have a unique situation that you have skilled, experienced mentors who have run their businesses, run various businesses, and are trying to give back to the community. Okay, so right now I'm going to play
Frank, the video is not playing. Frank?
Yes, sorry.
Okay. All right.
Let's try this again. Dennis,
Yes.
are we good?
Nope.
Okay. Apologies, folks. Let me try this one more time. Do you see the video, Dennis?
I see it now.
Let's try this one more time.
There we go.
Feud Kitchen is social cooking competitions for amateurs. So we believe that you don't need any fancy experience to cook good food creatively and have a great time doing it. We use mystery baskets with 4 ingredients that cooks must include in their dish, but then we have a fully stocked pantry with anything they might want to use additionally. And we play a savory round, then a sweet round, and in between everyone gets to try all the dishes, so it ends up being a full dinner too. Nancy Stroni is my score mentor. What I love about the way we work together is Nancy gets it right away. I leave my meetings with 2.5 pages of notes and 18 action items and a renewed sense of energy.
Maddie just exemplifies hustle and drive and excitement to build a business.
I started working with individual mentors on projects that I had. Like the Kickstarter was a huge one.
Nancy and a couple of the other mentors asked if I'd help Maddie with her Kickstarter campaign.
I'm so grateful to Jameson for letting me see behind the scenes of how a Kickstarter campaign happened before I clicked launch. It will really help me work through what a digital marketing schedule and campaign might look like.
The one thing that I really liked about Maddie was she was passionate and her eyes twinkled about what she was doing.
To other young people considering starting a business, I would say go to SCORE. Over the last 6 months, Feud has essentially doubled.
I see Maddie and Feud Kitchen as a national extension of what she's doing now in Portland, Maine.
One of the best parts about Feud is seeing folks come in a little bit unsure of their capabilities and if they can cook without a recipe, and then leave feeling like they really have conquered this challenge and they have more ability or more skills than they might have thought previously. It's pretty magical for us.
Okay. All right, sorry for the glitch,
I think
Dennis.
the biggest challenge really is there's so many different, again, aspects of a small business, whether it's, legal
Oops,
and
oops. Okay, we're having a couple of things here. All right, are we back in business here? Dennis?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, apologies for that. Now I mentioned a couple times of finding a mentor. If you go to our website, that's scwisconsin.score.org, you can get a free mentor and also sign up for local workshops or find other free resources. You're going to have a breakout tonight with a mentor. If you want to work with that person, you can certainly put their name in. But please, I encourage all of you, if you don't have a mentor yet, to sign up for one on our website. Okay. Here's our first poll. We're going to try to find out who's out there. First, to try to get a sense of the participants, whether you're not sure about starting a business or you're in a startup phase, committed but not yet started up, whether you're operating a business or a SCORE mentor. Question 2 is kind of get a sense of what topics, your main topics of interest in taking this series of classes, whether it's the getting the resources and templates, learning about market research, marketing and sales strategy, the legal and regulatory requirements for your business plan, or the numbers, the financial forecast or financing, or all of the above. So Dennis, can you launch the poll?
Done.
Okay, so you should be seeing a poll in front of you. Dennis, do you see the poll?
Yep,
Is it
I do.
launched? Okay.
Yep.
So please start to answer questions. I don't have visibility of the poll, Dennis, but oh, yes, I do. Okay. So start to ask, answer the questions in question 1 and 2 to get a sense of what's out there. Dennis, you have to see if you have sufficient
Yeah, I'll see when the
answers.
results start to tail off and then I'll close it.
Good. Okay. So, not difficult questions, folks. Let's just place your bets and let's see what we've got.
I have ended the polling and I'm
Okay, why
sharing
don't
the
you
results.
share the results? I can't see them, Dennis. Why don't you read them out?
Okay. Participant profile, we have 14% are dreamers. They're not really sure, but they want to start a business. They're thinking about it.
Go on.
48% are startups. 10% are present owners. And 29% are the SCORE mentors.
Okay, good.
Under main topic of interest, resources such as templates and tools, 10%, market research, marketing and sales strategy, 5%, operation legal regulation, 0%, and financial forecasting and financing options, 5%.
And all of the above?
Yeah.
What's that?
Yep.
All of the
81%.
above? What-
81%.
Okay, so
I'm sorry.
that's not unusual. Okay, good. That gives us a sense. So here you see the series we're going to do here. Tonight is an introduction. We're going to introduce a few tools to you. Next week we'll get into market research, competitive analysis, SWOT analysis. Week 3 is marketing and sales strategy. Week 4, operational details, the legal, the regulatory, insurance, HR, some of the other operational resources you have to consider. And then week 5, financial forecasting. Okay, so these are your financial statements, your profit and loss statement, your balance sheet, sales forecast, cash flow, and then finally financing, where to get financing, and then we'll wrap up your plan in week 6. So that's the game plan. I'd like to start with this. What's the prerequisites for coming into this class? This probably. I think if you can identify with this timeline here, where you get out of high school and you pretty much got it figured out, and then in your later 20s you realize you don't have a clue. So, what is the prerequisite for this workshop and for starting your business? Well, first, you need to decide that you want to run a business, run your own business, right? So for the dreamers, this workshop may frustrate you because it's the next level. We're going to get into nuts and bolts. So this workshop is really designed for startups and existing business owners, right? You have to have passion about your product and your customers, right? You don't have to be a marketing expert. You don't have to be an accountant. But you sure have to have some passion about your product and your customers, and you got to be ready to work, right? And it starts with developing that business plan. Can you run a business without a business plan? Certainly, a lot of people do. It just takes a lot longer, and you make more errors. So a business plan is really needed. Okay, during these workshops, we're going to have various methods we're going to use. Lecture like I'm doing now. We're going to do some polling. You've already seen the first one. We'll show a few videos. You've seen the first one of those. We'll have a breakout room somewhere in the middle of our session. And then what I'm encouraging you to do, again, is to sign up for a mentor and then get with that mentor between classes so that you can work on your business plan. Some people take this class and they say, I'll do the business plan later. Well, guess what happens? They never get to it. So I really encourage you to take each week and try to fill in that section or sections that we go through. Okay, so let's, as an Australian friend used to tell me, let's buckle our helmet straps and let's get going. Okay. Module 1, what we want to do tonight is show you the importance and the components of a business plan. We'll introduce a few templates and tools, and I'll spend a special amount of time on the business model canvas. This is a tool that is very effective in getting to the core of your plan, right? It's used in conjunction with a traditional business plan template, and it in fact feeds the key sections of that template. So I'll spend a little bit of time on the business model canvas, and I encourage you to work on that over the next week. All right, this is our kind of roadmap. We're going to talk about why important, a little bit about the contents and the various templates. We'll take a breakout room then for about 15 minutes, and then I'll spend the last 25 minutes or so on the business model canvas. So let's start to get going. Why is a business plan important? There are three main reasons, right? First, as I have already indicated, it increases your probability of success. It helps you convert a good product into a good business, right? They're not the same. It forces you to think through all the parts of your business rather than jumping in and missing something, right? So you make less errors. It's going to be higher probability of success. Secondly, it provides an action plan and a budget, right? So how do you know if you're successful in launching your business if you don't have a plan which tells you where you should be at various milestones? So this enables you to compare your results to your budget, whether it's financial results or market share or different milestones about opening stores or putting up marketing campaigns or whatnot. So with that plan, you have now a yardstick to judge how well you're doing. And then you make adjustments, right? If you're falling off a budget, there's a reason, you know. Is it your pricing? Is it your marketing? Is it you have plenty of demand, but you can't handle the business in an efficient manner? So there's a lot of reasons. You make adjustments based on actuals versus your plan. Finally, the plan is essential if you want to obtain financing. If you go into a bank or an angel investor, other than perhaps mom and dad, who may write you a check without seeing the plan, everybody else wants to see that plan. So it's really essential. Okay, we're poll 2. So this one is, why do you think small businesses fail? Okay, so is it, the market research, the product differentiation, brand recognition, poor product profitability, uncompetitive on the purchasing? Is it the debt burden, the infrastructure? What do you think causes most businesses to fail? Why don't you launch us, Dennis?
Frank, I'm having a technical problem here. Okay, I'm back.
You launched?
Nope.
All right, I can't launch from my computer. I'm showing the screen, so. Do you want me to launch it?
If you could.
All right, let me go back here. Okay, oops. Okay, mine, I can't launch, so, okay. Let's,
Okay, I'm back.
all right. Did you launch, Dennis?
Oh man, something's not right here.
Okay. All right, I'm going to move on. I'm going to give you the answers here. Main reasons why they fail. Failure to do research, either of the market or the competition. Some businesses start up and they think they got the best product in the world, but then they find out the hard way that nobody wants it, right? So failure to do that market research and take the time up front is one of the main reasons. The second reason is they don't put enough resources in, okay? Either in terms of cash or their own work, right? They can't keep up with the work. They don't have staff. They just fail to invest enough resources, right? And the third thing, the commitment, right? So this is really your own commitment to build a business. Those are the three things. Oddly enough, it's rarely that the product is unprofitable. A lot of times you have profitable product, but you have poor cash flow. So these are the main reasons. Obviously, the other things can happen. Okay, this is the first tool I want to introduce. It's called the Entrepreneurial Index Assessment. This is a self-assessment of your management traits, your behavioral traits. You get a report from this assessment. It's an online tool. You fill out a survey and you get the report right away. It predicts how satisfied you'll be in running a business and how successful you'll be in running a business. So, and the best way to interpret your report is, of course, talk to a SCORE mentor to help them give you some feedback on how to leverage your strengths and hedge your weaknesses, because we all have strengths and weaknesses, right? So this is the where you can get that tool. You can go on our website, and if you look under actually the workshops, it's under the workshops, the local workshops, and you can find this entrepreneurial assessment tool. So these 12 traits are the business traits that have been correlated to successful business owners. And this assessment tool helps determine how you rank on these 12 traits. So this is, I have 2 kids that went into business over the last 3 years. I made them take this assessment. If you think you are very self-aware, you know your weaknesses and strengths, I still say take this assessment and get it's somewhat objective. Of course, you're filling in a you're filling in the survey. So, but if you fill it in honestly, you'll get a good readout. And why is that important? Where you find weaknesses, you got to find ways to strengthen those, either through hiring someone who has got counterbalance your strengths and weaknesses, or get some outsourced services to help you. If you're weak in marketing or self-promotion or social networking, there's you can offset those weaknesses, right? So here's where you find it. It's under the Take a Workshop on our website. Okay. All right. We're going to go into the next section. We're going to talk about the various, first of all, the content, and then some templates for your business plan. So here's a typical business plan, right? Typically you have 8 sections. Obviously different plans will have, maybe sort these a little differently, label them differently, but they will all have similar content, right? So, you know, the executive overview, which is done, by the way, at the end, right? The company description, which talks about the mission and history, legal structure, whatnot, organization, and some of your targets, right? Your market research, and then your product or service features, your in section 4. And then your marketing and sales plan, operational plan, how you're going to source the product, how you're going to deliver the product, some of the regulatory issues, etc. And then your financial exhibits, startup costs, income statement, etc. And then supporting data. Some of the supporting data will be upon request, right? Oftentimes references, you may list some of your references, but some of the times this is upon request. I put a footnote here that, you know, I would not put confidential or personal information in this plan. I would make sure that, because although you're not publishing it, if you start to share it, then others it may get out. So assume it's going to be public. So don't, I wouldn't put your tax returns in here. I would do that upon request, for example, right? Okay, so I mentioned the content, but here's the order of preparation, and this is the order we're going to take it in, right? You start with the market, right? We're not going to start with our mission or our product or financial. We're going to start with, you know, is there a market, right? And who are the best customers for us, for my product? And then we'll talk about the product, you know, that meets that market need, a little bit about the competitive analysis, and then we'll come in with our market and sales strategy and our SWOT. What's a SWOT? Strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. We'll do that analysis as well, because that's a key tool for developing your strategy. Then we'll talk a little bit about operations, although most of the operations should be discussed with your mentor. Company description, we'll talk a little bit about the goals and missions, and then the financial projections and financing, right? Supporting data, and as I said, executive summary at the end. Okay. I'm introducing several different templates you can consider. SCORE has a couple of templates, one for startup business, one for an established business. They're a little different because the established business has historical financials and some other information. So those are two, and the SCORE templates are ones that many or most of our clients use, right? SBA has a couple of templates, traditional business plan and a lean startup plan. Those two are also good. You can consider using those. And then finally, you can buy some commercial plans. B plans I like, they're free. These others are you pay for. And I guess in this area, for a template and business plan, the free ones are sufficient. You don't need to pay money, but I'll show you where you can look for money. Here's the one, oops, right. Sorry. Okay, we still there?
We're here.
Okay, so we have, this is the SCORE business plan for startups. Again, this will be, this is hyperlinked. Sorry. This plan is hyperlinked. So you can get right to that page on SCORE where you can download the plan. The established business is also at the same website. You can download that template for established business. It's a little different, as I said. This is the SBA plan. Again, they offer two plans, a lean business plan and a traditional business plan. Again, the SBA plan is one that you can, is a good plan as well. And finally, I mentioned the B plan. This is hyperlinked to the B plan. I like this because it has free business template, but also it has several examples, right, in various industries where you can read them. For me, an example really helps. So regardless of the business plan template you use, I would go to this website, this B Plans website, to look at the, they have restaurants, they have manufacturing, they have um, consulting, they have various templates that you can get a sense of what a business plan looks like.
The example business plans are very good.
Right.
Why reinvent that wheel? At least get some ideas on your particular industry.
Right. So here's these are the samples they have: medical and health, restaurants, retail, online services. So there's a lot there I would consider. Okay. Then I said you can buy a business plan, and you can look into this. This is a PC Magazine does best business plan software. So you can look into these, but again, start simple and start free. Okay. All right. I think I'm in pretty good shape on time. Dennis, did you have any questions come in on the chat?
No, one concerning funding, and when we'll get to that, what part of this series will cover funding and finance?
Right. Funding is the last, so the sixth week, so the sixth Wednesday. But I encourage you, you want to do just funding, that's good. But I really encourage you to hang in there and build your business plan from the bottom up. And you may have a business plan, but I think you might hear something different or new, and I think that'll help you. But Dennis, let's go ahead and how are you set up? You good with the breakout rooms?
Yep, we're set.
Okay, why don't you, now what Dennis is going to launch these breakout rooms, and you're going to be asked to go into a room. And so click the button, go into the room. You will have, please try to keep your video on, and you will be unmuted. You will have some questions I want you to answer. And these are the questions. What template do you think might work for you and why? I showed you a couple of templates from SCORE. I showed you a couple from the SBA. I showed you B Plans, which is a simpler template. So, and some that you can buy. So what template do you think might work? What sections have you already worked on? Have you done your market research? Have you done your competitive analysis? Maybe you've worked on pricing or some of your marketing and sales plan. And what sections scare you the most? I think let's be honest, share with your colleagues here, I can't add 2 and 2. I flunked math in 3rd grade. That's fine. Well, not really, but you can, you don't have to be an accountant. Okay. And so if it will help you through, your SCORE mentor will help you through, your financial forecasting and help you go for financing as well. And then, if someone has a business plan, please share, your lessons learned, with the beginners. So if you have partial business plan or a lousy business plan, anything, just share with the others. I think just sharing, I think, helps people get their bearings, get their sense, and get them excited about getting started. So Dennis, why don't you push us out to our okay, so please join and you will be back in 15 minutes. You will get 2-minute warning. Okay, I'm going to break out here. Let's go later. Okay, everybody's moving. Sam and Julie need to move out. Are you seeing the icon to move? Yeah, there you go. Join. Good. Sam, you're not seeing it? Okay.
What do I need to do here?
Dennis, if you go to, let me see, if you go to your breakout rooms, okay, there he goes. He's gone.
Okay.
Okay, Dennis, so tell me quickly. Wait a minute, we've got Bob Fremder. You need to move Bob.
Okay.
Sherry. we
Hi.
can't- Yeah.
Am I?
What's wrong, Sherry? Sherry?
Hi. Am I
Yes.
in room 5 now?
Yeah.
No, this is not room 5. You got to join your room.
Okay, I did that and it put me into room 4.
Don't
So-
worry. Don't worry about it. Go with it.
Yeah. I would just
Yep.
go with it. Yeah.
All right. So do I?
Dennis, move her to room 5, please.
Thank you.
All right.
Look, she should be in room 4 probably. You have to move her to room 5.
I moved her.
To room 5?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead, Sherry. Join it again.
Not joined though.
You got to join it again.
Yeah, she's got to join it. Yeah.
Do you know how to join, Sherry?
I don't actually. It's the join button is not
Okay. Can you
It's
get
grayed
her to
out.
join? Can you get her to join, Dennis?
Let me see. No, I got her.
If you click more, you could be able to move her out there. Yeah, one of the problems is you're a co-host. Share, it's not a problem, but you should.
Hmm.
But if I go to the home screen, let's see. Polls.
Dennis, you can't do under more. You can't move her. The
Breakout
partic-
rooms. Oh, hey, here we go. Join breakout room.
Goodbye. Okay. All right. Dennis, okay, so besides the video hiccup, were you able to see the screens?
Yeah, there's a gray bar though on the screen, on your presentation screen, like a gray bar at the top of the slide.
Okay, we got a new participant. Can you assign
Okay.
the person that connected with your iPhone, $99.95? Yeah, we can't. Can you hear us?
Is that one?
Dennis, can you move him to his breakout room?
Yeah, let me. Is that iPhone 414?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And he's,
Yeah, he's got no audible. I don't know. Can you hear us? The person on the iPhone, can you hear us? Give me a signal. You can hear us. Okay. You have no audible. You have no microphone somehow. So we can only see your video. So I don't know what the problem is. But we should put you in a breakout room. Dennis, can you get him in a breakout room or no? Put in a, okay, waiting room, that's not good. You can't get him?
No,
Okay. Did you move him or did he drop out? No.
I don't,
Okay. All right. Don't worry about it. Sherry, what's wrong, Sherry?
yeah, Sherry, where are you? You're in,
I don't know. I tried to go to breakout 5 and I wound up in breakout 3. So just stick me
Just
in.
go wherever you land.
Yeah.
Just go.
exactly.
Yeah, but I don't know how.
Well, you were there, you said.
You know, I'm also worried about breakout room number 6. I don't know if it has I don't know if it has a mentor in it,
All right,
because
I'll go.
I've got Bob Fremner in there. But I've got Bob also as another Bob Fremner 1. Oh, now I lost my screen. Frank? Now I'm back, but Sherry, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
What I feel like we lost Frank,
yeah,
and I have no idea how to get back to the main meeting or the breakout.
yeah, I'm worried that breakout room number 6 doesn't, oh, maybe Frank is in there now. That's good. But you can't get back to the,
Yeah, I'm not sure how to get to the breakout. Oh, I see Frank. Well, I think.
yeah, Frank's in room 6.
All right, I just asked him to start. Hmm.
I really,
Yeah, I'm at a loss. I'm
yeah,
sorry. I wish I knew what to
I
do.
feel, yeah, no, we're swimming here, and I'm not sure I know what's going on. So,
Hello?
hello, sir.
Hi, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, I was having trouble with my audio.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I got everything together now. How you doing today?
good.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to move you to a breakout room. There's a breakout room in session.
Okay.
Frank,
Yeah, Dennis.
want me to close the rooms?
Don't they close automatically or
Yeah.
okay. So how much time do we have in the clock?
You know,
Okay, so people are starting to come back.
yeah.
Okay, for people that are back, welcome.
I'm going to close all the rooms, Frank.
Go ahead.
We'll close in 59 seconds.
Good. Okay. Should be popping in now, Dennis.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, they're going to cut us off, I guess. So maybe we can connect later if you want to try to reach me through Score. Okay. We're done.
Okay, well, welcome back. I wanted to hope that gave you some chance to interact and talk about the business business plan templates you might consider. I want to spend the rest of the time on this business model canvas tool. This is a tool that was developed about 10 years ago by a professor in Switzerland, and it's been it's been picked up globally as an excellent tool for startup entrepreneurs. And the reason it's so powerful is you get the main components of your business model on one sheet. One sheet with 9 components. And this forms the guts of your business plan. So there's a lot of components here that should sound familiar with the sections of your business plan. The first 4 components, the value proposition, that's what problems are you trying to solve? What customer needs are you trying to satisfy? These are your product features that best meet your customer needs. The second section is your customer segments, and that's for you to fill in describe your customer, which customer segment, and the more narrowly you can describe your customer that you're trying to get to, the better. We'll talk about that in later sessions. Number 3 are the channels. How do you get the word, the information about your product to your customers? And also, how do you physically get your product to your customers? So those are your channels. Number 4 is what kind of relationship do you want to have with your customers? Is it a transactional? Is it a deep relationship? Repeat customers? This is kind of, your what kind of relationship you want to have. And then 9 is the revenue streams. Okay, so here's the next, this is the back stage, right? Number 5, what are the key activities do you plan to do? There's some activities you plan to do, some you will outsource. Number 5 are the activities that are core to your business proposition. 6 are the resources that you need in order to the key resources that are important for you to have in-house. And then number 7 are your partners. Those are your outsourced partners, service providers, collaborators, co-marketers. These are various partners. And again, we're going to work with this. Finally, the cost structure is down below. So those are the 9 components. And I'm going to share this video because, and this is a series of videos, and it'll describe how the business model canvas is built up, right? It's a simple video, but it moves pretty quickly. So try to take some notes, but you will have the link to this video. You can watch it at home. Now I'm going to switch modes here, if you just be patient with me. Okay. Oops, no, that's not it. Try this again. Let's go. Let's go here. And okay.
This is the story of Beth, her friend Carl, and an idea they believed could become a great business. It's the story of how they succeeded, and if you're an entrepreneur or anyone with a great idea, it could easily be your story too. But let's begin at the beginning. See, even if you have a great idea, success is far from assured. That's because for every great idea that has shaped our world, there are thousands of seemingly great ideas that have flopped. In order to succeed, a great business idea needs a great business model, and they're not the same thing. Once your idea meets the world, it will meet customers. If they don't care about the problem your idea solves for them, it's game over. But even if customers love your value proposition, you can fail if your business model is not scalable and financially sustainable. You'll need to find reliable channels to reach and acquire your customers. You'll need to build an infrastructure that won't collapse as your business begins to grow. Failing to do just one of these things can mean death to your business, however great your idea is. That's why your first work is to search for the right business model, to map this world of challenges so it can be tamed and organized, allowing you to explore it, manage it, and plan for it. What if there was a tool that could help you with this challenge, simply and visually? A tool that makes it easier to stress test your ideas, track your progress, and avoid breaking the bank along the way. What if it was possible to design and test business models in a way that gives your idea a better shot at rising to the level of the great businesses that are shaping our world? It is, and though the journey for these guys, and for you, won't be a walk in the park, all you'll need is your creativity, willingness to work, and passion for your idea. We'll give you the rest.
Okay, we're going to go to the next video. The first one, you know, you've got a great product, but that's not the same as a great business model.
This is the business model canvas. It's just what Beth and Carl will need to craft a powerful business model, and it can do the same for you. Let's dive in and see how it works. There are 9 essential building blocks that make up any business model. When you get all 9 blocks working together, you'll have answered the fundamental questions any business model must solve. We'll start here with customer segments. These are all the people or organizations for which you're creating value. For each segment, you have a specific value proposition. These are the bundles of products and services that create value for your customers. Channels describe through which touchpoints you're interacting with customers and delivering value. The customer relationships outline the types of relationships you're establishing with your customers and how you're acquiring and retaining them. Pricing mechanisms through which your business model captures value are documented under revenue streams. The key resources show which assets are indispensable in your business model, so you can describe the infrastructure you need to create, deliver, and capture value. The key activities show which things you need to be able to perform well. The key partners show who can help you leverage your business model, since you won't own all key resources yourself, nor will you perform all key activities. And once you understand your business model's infrastructure, you'll also have an idea of its cost structure. Any business model can be mapped this way: 9 building blocks working to reinforce and strengthen each other. But before you make a model for yourself, it helps to see what a breakthrough business model looks like in action, like this one. Low-cost airlines revolutionized air travel thanks to their disruptive business model. Let's first look at their value proposition. A low-cost airline offers ultra-cheap flights to their main customer segment, budget travelers, by adopting a no-frills policy. And this leads to additional revenue streams, because customers pay for their ticket and additional fees on items like food and drink, priority boarding, and luggage. The airlines save even more money through their choice of channels, selling only through call centers and the internet, making for efficient, if not always convenient, customer relationships that are automated and often impersonal. Okay, that covers the right side of the canvas, the part everyone can see. The left side of the canvas is what's going on backstage. Like their choice of key resources, they reduce maintenance and training costs by using a single aircraft model for the whole fleet. And they only fly to cheap airports where it's cost efficient to land or where they even get paid to touch down. Planes that do land have quick turnarounds, so they get back in the air earning money as quickly as possible. And they form key partnerships with others in the travel industry, like car rental, hotel, and insurance companies. Finally, under cost structures, all maintenance, training, airport, and call center costs are trimmed to their lowest levels. All of these pieces working together make their fares almost impossible for traditional airlines to compete with. There's nothing superior about these airlines except their business models. They're reaching an entirely new segment of travelers out of reach for traditional airlines. Cutting out costs is pretty exciting, right? But wait, just because it's successful for discount airlines doesn't mean it will work for your idea. Luckily, the business model canvas allows you to iterate many models and test them quickly. Let's get started with your own business idea.
Okay, so that gave us a sense of the 9 building blocks and how they all come together, and they did the example of the discount airline. So now we'll see now their prototype business model for their business idea.
You can think of a business model like a story of how your enterprise will create, deliver, and capture value. And like a story, it can be one you've heard over and over before. For instance, you can start with what most people are fixated on, the value proposition. Travel for retirees. Then decide whom you can sell it to. Yep, boomers. Sketch in how you'll get it to them. Okay, a website. And how that will generate revenue. Sure, sales fees. You'll make it easy and automated. Next, you figure out what key resources you need to offer all that, like a reliable website and brand recognition. Carl's thinking his key activities will be marketing, website, and maintenance. And then partners will do the booking. And finally, where your costs will come from. Sales, marketing, platform development, all that will cost you. There you go, your first model. But don't expect a medal or a breakthrough. Predictable models can work, but rarely give you a competitive advantage, so don't fall in love with your first idea. To compete in a world where the best model wins, you'll need to think harder and explore alternatives. For example, prototype a model where you give away your value proposition for free. This will instantly change everything. You might not find this model realistic, but exploring it will force you to think hard about potential alternatives. As an entrepreneur, you're thinking of your model 24/7. Now you have a tool to structure your ideas as quick prototypes to consider with your team. Who knows, you might wind up with a disruptive model that changes an entire industry. like Skype with its freemium model, or Nespresso, which became a multi-billion-dollar business by locking customers into purchasing high-margin espresso capsules. In fact, understanding innovative or simply successful business models in other industries can be a great place to start getting to your breakthrough. There's no right or wrong way to do it, just 3 rules to start with. First, focus on the business model, not just your product, technology, or service. Second, don't fall in love with your first models. The best models are built on clever, unexpected elements, and that comes from creating many less obvious versions. Which leads to the third rule. Iterate rapidly and test your models early, in the real world. How do you do that? Don't worry, guys. We're about to learn all about the real world beyond our canvas.
Okay, so focus on the model, not just your product. And don't fall in love with your first model. You have to iterate and test it and bring people in the room to test it.
Remember the chaos your idea faced before you made the canvas? Well, you've tamed some of it by mapping the elements that are mostly within your control. But the world out there is full of threats, constraints, and opportunities beyond your control. They create the environment in which you'll design and build your business model, and in which your business will fight for survival every day. Just because you can't control these factors doesn't mean you can't and shouldn't account for them in your model. Doing so will help prepare your model for threats, ready it for changing legal constraints, and prime it to jump on innovations. Let's see how mapping the environment will affect the Boomer travel agency model. On the right, you'll map market forces, everything related to the customer segments you've selected. Ask yourself, which other segments are there? Which ones are the most lucrative? Looks like Beth's discovered a segment of boomers with a range of disposable wealth. You could ask, which segments are growing and what do they most want? And why might your customers resist? Okay, good. Boomers have trouble adapting to new technology. Now above your canvas, map key trends. Are new technologies about to undercut your value proposition or supercharge it? What regulations are coming up? How is society at large shifting? Right, Carl. Rising medical costs could weigh heavily on your customers. Now to the left, map industry forces. Who are your main competitors? What advantages do their business models provide? Could they crush you? Your industry may already have a dominant competitor, but ask yourself, where are their weaknesses? Can you disrupt them? What might happen as suppliers and partners evolve or don't? Better to know now that the travel field is crowded and volatile, right, Carl? Finally, below your canvas, map macroeconomic forces. How is the global economy doing? Markets may be in a state of rampant uncertainty. How available is capital? Venture capitalists may be taking few risks. How well is the infrastructure developed in the market you are doing business in? Sure, many boomers are experiencing a decline in living standards. Now you've mapped your environment, full of threats, opportunities, and constraints. What do? Use the map, of course, to make your business model more responsive. Looking at industry forces on the left side of your canvas, ask, does your model have a competitive edge today? Tomorrow? Good thinking, Beth. That dominant competitor could be a threat. Looking at key trends on the top of your canvas, ask, is your model prepared for emerging trends? Okay, if rising medical costs encourage overseas treatment, that could be an opportunity for your travel agency. On the right for market forces, is your model in line with evolving customer needs? Sure, if your customers are resistant to the internet, you're right to rethink delivery through a website. And below for macroeconomic forces, how will your model adjust to macroeconomic shifts? Yes, Beth. Unfortunately, travel is becoming a luxury that a growing number of your customers can't afford. But don't be overwhelmed by these elements. Asking and answering these questions will help make your business model better suited to its environment and that much more likely to succeed. Now you're ready to start testing your model in the real world.
Okay, we'll see one more of these, but we now went from our model to the external environment, competition, market trends, macroeconomic trends. So now we'll see how to prove and test our model.
All right, you've got your model, you made your best guess, it's time to fail. I know it's hard to hear, but even your most promising prototype is pretty certain to fail. Many of your hypotheses are bound to be wrong. Luckily, the canvas makes it easy to adapt, as long as your mistakes are cheap and you act quickly to fix them. See, the only judge of a business model is your future customer. What you've created so far are just hypotheses, guesses that need to be true for your business model to succeed. You have to test these hypotheses. Fail or succeed, learn, then adjust. This process is known as customer development and lean startup. Begin by explicitly stating the most important hypotheses underlying your business model. Okay, you believe that boomers crave custom travel experiences that are tailored to their needs, and that a great brand can overcome a dominant competitor's advantage. Great. Now get out into the world and see if you're right. You can conduct low-cost experiments to test your most important hypotheses. Talk to your distributors, potential partners, and industry experts. But most importantly, talk to your prospective customers. They're likely to have questions and concerns that never crossed your mind. The idea of overseas travel might be stressful for your customers. Money could be a concern, or there might just be a general lack of interest. Yes, learning that overseas travel is not attractive to many of your customers can feel like a major setback. But what you learn in the field can also lead you to unexpected opportunities, like the fact that retirement is cheaper overseas. And this might lead you to modify your original idea in favor of something new. As you gain confidence with your model, you should intensify testing. You'll succeed in some ways, but you'll fail in others because there will always be factors that you can't foresee from your office. If you adapt rapidly and cheaply, you can account for these factors. Solutions like quality assurance for high standards might be easier to implement through retirement village franchises. The more you test, the more you learn, the more your model matures. It's time to start thinking about business models in a revolutionary new way. The era of the fixed business plan is over. To compete today, you need an evolving business model. And if you document your evolution, you can play back your canvases like a flip book, a valuable documentation of your increasingly viable business model. Now your business model is not just a bunch of guesses. You've tested, adapted, and your business model is now likely to succeed. You're ready for the next step. It's time to pitch your model.
Okay. All right, I hope that was informative. I think I really like this business model canvas. It's a very dynamic, easy way to develop your model and to test it. Most of you should recognize this guy. He was famous for his pivot move. And so Kobe, and that's the idea of working with the business model canvas. You keep many of the blocks constant, and you start to change one block at a time. So you pivot to a new business model, but not everything changes. And you test it. As they said, the best judge of your business model is your customers, but you can start the testing with your business partner, with your SCORE mentor, or any a group that you trust and understand your market to test your theories. So, you know, I mentioned the various components of your business plan. That's the traditional business plan here on the left. And then on the right are the various components of your business model canvas. And you see that they tend to feed various parts of your business plan. So it's not the either or, right? It's not, if you went into the bank with a business model canvas, you're not going to get a loan, right? You need to complete all the other sections. But if you to complete the sections in an efficient way, the business model canvas is a great tool. This Canvanizer, it's a free tool, canvanizer.com. It's a way for you to build your business plan online and share it with your mentor. So this is a nice, easy online tool. You could also do it old school. You could do it on a chalkboard or a poster with sticky notes. But I would try to get different thinkers, different people in the room to work on the plan with you. Okay.
Frank, we do have a couple of questions.
Go.
When is the best time to get direct feedback from your customer segments?
Yeah, so as you saw in the video, you need to do your homework first. So you want to, I would do your first prototype, right? And then you start to include your mentor or your business partner to try to evolve that. Don't go out with your first prototype to your customer. You need to test it. And by the way, I keep saying customer, another way to test the business model is to talk to some of your competition. Not all competition, not all market segments, I should say, are cutthroat. In a lot of different markets, it's the more the merrier. The market potential is much bigger. It's not, I've got this block or this town, and I can't allow a competitor. So oftentimes, depending on your business, competitors will help you because they know that someday they'll need help. So talk to some of your competitors. They're not all open and friendly, but some of them are. My son started a chiropractic business, and I'd say 90% of the existing chiropractors he spoke to were helpful, did not see him as a threat. So, talk, but eventually you want to talk to your customers, right? You want to talk to trusted customers in a focus group or one-on-one to get their feedback. Anything else, Dennis?
Yeah, we've got another question here, and I've sometimes grappled with this when I'm using the Canvas tool. Why is it important to start with customer segments first?
Yeah, when I first described it, I said start with your value proposition, but the video says start with customers. Why is that? You need to, we're all in love with our product, right? But if we start to describe how great our product is and then look for the customers, they're saying go the other way around. What are the customer needs? What's the market need? And then try to see if your product concept fits that. And then adopt your product, right? It's more important to meet that customer need than to, prove your product concept. So many businesses start out with one concept of a product or service and change it based on what they learn in the market. It's better to learn that up front through these, modeling and brainstorming rather than to invest in something that you find out later nobody wants. Dennis?
I know you're going to get to this later, but I'm getting a lot of questions on will the presentation be available?
Presentation will be online at our website, and so will the recordings. I think though, I would get the presentation. Again, a lot of these slides are hyperlinked to the tools. So if we were in a classroom situation, it'd be a little easier, but you'll get you go online, download the presentation, and you'll be all set. Okay. I want to wrap up by...
Hey, Frank, this is Sherry. I just want to ask, you say go online. Where online, please, for our viewers?
Sure. I showed our website. It's Dennis, give me the website address, or let's see if I have it here. It's right here. It's scwisconsin.score.org. Okay, that's our Southeast Wisconsin SCORE website. Again, you have the three main sections: find a mentor, which I encourage all of you to do. Take a workshop. That's where you'll find the Entrepreneurial Index assessment. And you can sign up for other workshops. And then you can browse the library. There's a lot of resources right there: articles, webinars, videos. So you can, depending on what you're looking for, what function, what market segment, a lot of resources there. So that's where you go. I show here, find a mentor. Thanks, Sherry. I want to plug these classes. This class that you're in is the business plan class, the introduction. Again, the next 5 weeks, we're going to dig into these various sections of the business plan. So if you haven't registered yet, please register. We're capping it off. So try to register early and often, right? And then we're also, if you want to dig in deeper into branding, we have an excellent SCORE mentor who is expert in branding. And has his in a 3-week series starting October 7th. So talking all about branding and brand positioning and marketing. That's in a morning session, 10:30. We have a couple of marketing classes coming up, one on October 3rd. Actually, that's been changed, Dennis. That's going to be rescheduled, I believe, in December. So,
okay.
And then we also have a podcast marketing that we hope to also include in December. I'm going to touch on financial statements, but we have a whole class focused on just financial statements on October 31st. We have an accountant that will give that. And then someone asked about financing options. No, this is using financial statements. This is the next level. So there's the basics, and then there's the kind of the intermediate course on using your how to read your financial statements. And then we're working on a class in the gig economy, and we're also looking at a couple of Google classes where an expert from Google will present. Last polling question: what are you going to do today based on what you learned? Are you going to sign up for a SCORE mentor, select a template over the next week, start to experiment with the business model canvas, and sign up for more workshops, or all of the above? So Dennis, you want to
I have launched it.
Okay, excellent. So let's get a sense. This is a little bit of a mom and apple pie question, but it's really meant to prompt you to, when you get offline tonight, don't say, I'll do this someday, or I'll get around to it. Really work in a concentrated way on this first kind of week's assignment, which is to find a template and start your business model canvas. Dennis, what do we got here?
Here's what we got. Find a SCORE mentor, 20%. Select a business plan template, 40%. Use the business model canvas, 35%. Sign up for more workshops, 35%. And all of the above, 40%.
Okay, all right. That covers most of you. So I'm glad that people will take action. So with that, Dennis, if you don't have any more questions, we can close this out.
No, we are caught up on the chat. There was one resource, Frank, the SCORE roadmap. That was one of your slides. That is very powerful, and I would encourage people to visit that. And I think it's 12 chapters.
Yeah, so a more extensive roadmap can be found on the SCORE website. I will have a slide in the slide deck. I didn't show all those resources, but there will be a slide in the slide deck that outlines that roadmap, and that's a good plug, Dennis. I would encourage people that have the time to really jump into that. That's kind of a next level of detail. I will suggest in the future, please log on early. You'll be put in a waiting room until we open the class, but we had a lot of you join late, and it's just very difficult to catch up if you're joining late. So please join early next week, and I look forward to seeing you. Good. Dennis, you want to close this out?
I will end.
Thank you.